Hi everybody and welcome to Wild Music on this very hot afternoon here in Perth. In fact, it's 39 degrees at the moment, set to reach 40 degrees this afternoon. It's so hot. This reaction is to Angelina Jordan performing her song Oslo, and she's performing this with Forsvaret, the Norwegian Armed Forces band. So a little bit about Angelina and her musical history. So she won Norway's Got Talent in 2014, and shortly after that a number of her performances went viral, and these included the Billie Holiday songs Gloomy Sunday and I'm a Fool to Want You, as well as her performance of Fly Me to the Moon. She then went on to perform songs such as Bang Bang, Nancy Sinatra's song, and Summertime, the Gershwin song, again showcasing her extraordinary talents. After this, she performed on numerous Norwegian shows, including Allsang på Grensen on T4 for Sweden, and also American show The View. In December 2014, she performed at the Nobel Peace Prize concert, and this was Angelina realising one of her personal goals. So we'll go just up to there for now. So early in November this year, her first song for Republic Records was released, Million Miles. Fantastic song, and I'm sure there'll be another song that will be released of Angelina in the near future as well. Something to look forward to. So this song, Oslo, was written by Angelina Jordan, and it was released on the 15th of June 2018 on her album It's Magic, which featured Forsvaret Stabmusikkorps, as I said, the Norwegian Armed Forces Staff Music Corps. The day after its release, they performed the whole album live in a concert in which Norway's Prime Minister Erna Solberg attended. I'm pretty sure this is the concert. So this was performed on the 16th of June, I believe, 2018. And at this point in time, Angelina was 12 years old. So let's hear it.
Far away, there's a little girl. She's singing along with the seagulls in the sky, dancing with the reindeers in the snow. Round and round she goes, caught in the tide. The rainbows remind her that this will not last. Down and down she goes, and Oslo. The stars are high, witnesses forever she hears. Her eyes will always be back home. The gentle sounds of the Atlantic Sea, it makes she miss you so much. This magic country has her in the smell the sea and the waves, by the mountains and the snow, and a roar that's in the sky. That's magic. The stars are my witnesses forever. I am. My eyes will always be back. Oh.
Yes.
Eligible West.
Oh, wow. So, I'll just try and get rid of this advert while I'm talking. That was absolutely exquisite. What a performance. What a song that Angelina has written here. She's looking so elegant here. Dressed so beautifully, so age appropriate, and just she is an amazingly brilliant performer and such a nice person as well. And you can really pick that up from her performances as well as obviously from interviews and so on. But you can see just the way she performs is in such a skilled and caring and brilliant manner. There's so much to love, and that song is so reflective and such an interesting song. Got a very catchy hook in it, and it's just so gentle all the way through, and that's an element of it. One of the many things I liked about it that makes that song so great as well. Beautiful. So let's go and we'll talk through it, or I'll talk through the song from the beginning. So we start with the short introduction where Forsvara perform, and they're absolutely brilliant as well. And they have such a lovely sound. I absolutely enjoyed their performance as well in this song, with Angelina singing, obviously. So her vocals come in a few seconds in, about 15 seconds in, and again she begins this so gently and with her silken smooth vocals. And it's sort of the introduction to the story. It's not the actual introduction of the song, which obviously comes before it, but I call this the introduction to her story that she's telling. That's how I see it. So she's just starting to tell the story of what the song is about. So let's start with that. Let's hear. Oh, muted it so we wouldn't hear the advert. Let's start again. That's better.
Far, far away, there's a little girl. She's singing along with the seagulls in the sky.
Yes, as I said, her vocals, she did have a little bit of raspiness at the end of the phrase, but she starts so with that silken smooth texture to her vocal, and it just eases in the song with the introduction of telling the story, as I said before. Beautiful. Let's hear it again from where her vocals come in.
Far, far away, there's a little girl. She's singing along with the seagulls in the sky. dancing with the reindeers in the snow.
Yes, so the second phrase, so after the first bit of raspiness, she stretched the time a little bit there, which really added to the emotion of the song. It was just really nice. It doesn't have to be perfectly in time. It would sound quite robotic if it was. But she knows where to just stretch the time a little bit, hold back a tiny bit. It's back phrasing, I suppose you could call it. But just that playing with the time. It's like poetic license, only in this case it's musical license. It's still in time, but it's vocalists and musicians sometimes play deliberately, slightly behind the beat, but not with every note or every word or every syllable. It's just chosen where it's tasteful, and it works really well. I'll go back to the beginning of Angelina's vocals.
Far, far away, there's a little girl. She's singing along with the seagulls in the sky, dancing with the reindeers in the snow.
Beautiful.
Round and round she goes.
Stretch the time a bit there too, which was really, really nice.
And round she goes, caught in the tide. The rainbows remind her that this will not last. Down and down she goes, and Oslo.
Really, really nice. And Angelina's vocals are quite breathy and airy up to this point in the song, and she's got this beautiful expressive quality, which is really nice. Let me go back to about here, the start of verse 2.
She goes, caught in the tide. The rainbows remind her that this will not last. Down and down she goes, and Oslo.
Yes, I love the way she did down and down. It's got that little bit of rhythmic element to it, or that rhythmic element, and it just adds to the song. And then she had the beautiful vibrato there on the word slow. I'll just pick that up. It's so musical, her performance. You know, we can analyse, as I've said before in other videos, we can analyse every single note, every word, and that's quite interesting to do. And I love doing it, breaking it down. It can sometimes show you something that either you haven't noticed before, or it can demonstrate why you really think a performer is so great. And it also can help you with your own vocals, because you think, okay, right, somebody's done this, I could apply this somewhere else. It's part of our learning process. We never stop learning. Our whole life we keep learning. So it's so great. And you know what? Another thing is, I could watch Angelina's performance of this song, or other songs that she performs or other artists perform, and each time you can pick up something different. You might think, okay, I really like this and that the first time. Then you might hear it again and say, oh yes, that's great, but oh, now I didn't notice this before, or this is something else they're doing. So you pick different things up each time you hear it. This is the first time I've heard Angelina perform the song with Forsvaret, or in this performance. But you know, equally, when I listen to the song Angelina and Forsvaret in this performance again, I'll hear other things. And I'm sure you would too. You pick up different things. That's what's great about music. You can hear different things each time you listen. But overall, what I was saying was, we break it down musically, the whole performance. It's about a performance. is the vocalist telling the story? Well, in this case, Angelina, she's telling the story. It's about a message that's being communicated, communication. You know, people can use these excellent techniques and so on, which help us understand why we like something or why someone's done such a great job or so highly skilled. But overall, we're listening to the musicality of it, or the overall sound. And that's why her performance here is so brilliant. She's got such great musicality. Let's hear.
In the tide, the rainbows remind her that this will not last. Down, down she goes in Oslo.
Nice.
The stars are her witnesses wherever she is. Her eyes will always be back home.
Great. Some of the notes I've made here in this chorus section. Well, I call it the chorus. I'm pretty sure this would be the chorus. So Angelina has some slides and bends to notes. And I believe this demonstrates the fluidity of her vocals and her flexibility within her voice that she's able to implement, which adds this really nice touch. She's got a lovely variation in dynamic level as well, the loud, and she comes down where it's appropriate to a softer dynamic. There's a lot of variation in between as well. And, wow, I wrote a metaphor here. It's like a flowing river that ebbs and flows. It's that rise and fall of loud and soft. And I suppose we call it expression too, because it is. And at the end of this chorus, you can hear Angelina going right down to her low register, and she has a beautiful resonance down there as well. That's a lot to think about in one hit, but let's listen to it. So the slides, the fluidity, the ebbs and flows of dynamics.
The stars are her witnesses wherever she is. Her eyes will always be back home.
Lovely.
The gentle sounds of the Atlantic Sea, it makes she miss you so much.
So in this verse, I think I've written verse 3. So Angelina's got some beautiful vibrato happening again, and it really adds to the emotion of her performance and delivery of the song's message. It's so beautiful. And she's also got the delay, the stretching of the timing that we can hear in this section, in this verse.
The gentle sounds of the Atlantic Sea, it makes she miss you so much. This magic country has her in the smell.
Great. Now we're into the next chorus, and Angelina is continuing to provide this captivating performance. She doesn't need to use any major vocal tricks. What she's doing is highly skilled though. We know that. Even though there may not be any big flourishes or runs or really high notes, and they're good when vocalists can do them and use them for effect, but it doesn't make any performance of somebody that doesn't use those any less of an excellent performance, because, as I said, it's about communicating a message. If you're communicating that message without those sort of high-end tricks, sometimes we call them tricks, but they're actually quite good skills, but you don't always need them, because a song is about communicating, as I said, and Angelina has such soulfulness in her vocals. And what else have I written? Her fabulous timbral quality speaks for itself. She's so polished, and as I said, overall, most importantly, so musical. It's all you need. And not just a great performance, but an amazing performance. So it's, and the other thing I wrote here is it's all the unwritten things in music. Sure, we can say, oh, they've risen from the dominant to the upper tonic, or leading note to the upper dominant note, or whatever, or they've used a turn or some form of ornamentation or some sort of run. Great, but it's these other things, the unwritten part of music. Does it sound great? Is it communicating the message? That's most important.
The stars are her witnesses wherever she is. Her eyes will always be back home by the sea and the waves.
I'll go back to the start of this bridge. I've written that, and I hugely feel it's so reflective, this section of the song, and Angelina adds the emotion and that emotiveness to communicating the message. This is a very patriotic song, and it's so fantastic to hear Angelina singing about Oslo. I love it. After talking about a run, I've written next, she does have a really nice run coming up. It's not overdone. She just throws it in just to add a finishing touch to the song. We'll hear that.
Back home by the sea and the waves, by the mountains and the snow, and a roar that's in the sky, that's a magic.
Beautiful run.
The stars are my witnesses forever. I am. My eyes will always be back.
Fantastic run again there. Then she's gone up to that high note. Just bang. Straight onto that note. The band stopped, so she's singing a cappella. It's a lovely end to the song. Of course, she was right on pitch. I really love the way she'd pulled it back and was quite soft, I suppose you would say, in this last section again. It's very gentle. She sung very gently all the way through, so the song connects together and is so cohesive. But she started with that gentleness, then the song built up, and then she's come back again to round it off by going back to that quieter, gentle tone. Really nice. I'd like to play it from about this point again. Well, excellent performance. And I absolutely love her song Oslo. It's another one of her fantastic compositions and another great performance. She's so talented, and I really look forward to hearing what is released from Republic Records of hers next. And it was fantastic there to hear Forsvaret as well. I always love a military band. They always sound so interesting. And again, a lot of brass instruments in it. It's just so nice. So, fantastic performance. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm going to listen to it again right now. I hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next reaction. Bye for now.